Hi, it's Jacci. Namaste. We're going to do a little yoga together for the next maybe 35, 40 minutes. So take a moment to get yourself settled. If you have a yoga mat, you can lie that out on the floor. And if you don't have a yoga mat, fine. Just pick a spot where you're able to lie down and perhaps enough room behind you to stretch your arms over your head. Some other tools that might be helpful is to have a blanket to pad your knees or your neck when you're lying down, or a yoga block if you have something like that. If you don't have those things, maybe a thick towel or something to pad the knees is fine. So as you begin to get settled, we're going to start lying down on our back today, but I recommend that you get yourself, give yourself a little space, a little time to do your practice. So close the door, turn off your phone, just give yourself the next little bit of time to do your yoga practice. So we're going to start lying down on the floor. And if you can just come to lie on your back, and when you're lying down, again, we'll just check about the space behind to see if you have room to stretch your arms over your head. And then bring your arms down and draw your knees into your chest. Now just begin to notice the back by rocking. So you can do a little gentle rocking of the knees. And then perhaps you touch your knees and let your knees make some little circles. You can go both ways. Just a little gentle massage of the back. And then while you're just continuing to massage your back, you can move your ankles and your wrists. And this is a nice, joint rotations are just quite nice and soothing. And then if you hold on lightly behind your knees, we'll begin to straighten the legs toward the ceiling one at a time. So let one leg push up, and when you bend that knee, straighten the other one. And as you reach the leg up, push the heel up, try to spread the toes. And then as you bend the knee, see if you can point and squeeze the toes. So one foot, the toes are spread, and the other foot, the toes are squeezing, making a fist. So the one that's up in the air, you're getting to stretch the surface of the foot, the sole of the foot and the ankle, and the one that you're bending, you stretch the front of the ankle. And you can squeeze your toes. It's just also fun for the brain to try to do different things with the different sides of the body. Just noticing what you feel in the backs of your legs and your knees, and then bend both knees, and we'll do it with both legs together. So inhale both legs up, and you can push the heels up and spread the toes. And exhale, bend the knees. You can point the toes of both feet. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, legs up, and exhale, knees bend. And again, inhale, legs up, and exhale, knees bend. And then we'll just let the legs rest on the floor. So if you can just put your feet down. For some people, letting the feet come a little bit wide and the knees touching is really helpful to make the back and the hips comfortable. And then we'll move our arms. So please inhale your arms up over your head to the floor behind you. And exhale your arms down, belly in. So this is a nice movement to start to really get this idea of coordinating the movement with the breath. So inhale through the nose and let your arms float slowly up over your head. There's no rushing at all. Exhale through the nose and let your arms float back down. Pull the belly in. Let your hands touch softly. Inhale as if the breath lifts your arms over your head. So no rushing at all. And then exhale, lower your arms down. And then keep your arms down. We'll draw the knees up into the chest, and we're going to lift them both together. So inhale, straighten your legs toward the ceiling and your arms up over your head. And on your exhale, bend your knees and lower your arms and pull the navel in. It's a nice way to wake up the joints. Inhale, everything reaches up. Push your heels up. You could spread the fingers and the toes. Exhale, bend the knees and lower down. The next one of those we're going to hold. So straighten your legs any amount, lift your arms any amount, and while you hold on the exhale, soften your knees and your elbows and hug your belly in. And on your inhale, lengthen back out. And again, exhale. And inhale. Again, exhale. And longer on the inhale. And this exhale, bend your knees and lower your arms. Put your feet on the floor. And for the next part, we're going to come over onto hands and knees. So if you just roll to your side, please use your hands to push yourself up. And when you come to all fours, when we come onto hands and knees, this is the part where it may be nice to pad the knees with a blanket. So if it's helpful for you, get something to pad your knees. It's always nice to take care of the joints. So padding the knees when we're on hands and knees can be particularly nice. So we'll start in the tabletop position here. So we're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders and the hips over the knees. On your in-breath, lift your chest and your eyes. On the exhale, as you pull the navel in, you feel the back round, and then we're going to fold back to child's pose. So the elbows touch down to the floor, the hips sink back, and the head bows. And then inhale back up to all fours and lift your chest and your eyes. And again, belly in, exhale back. Remember to breathe through your nose. Inhale back up. Exhale back down. So this time, as you inhale up, lift your right hand up and reach it forward like you're going to shake hands with somebody. And then put your hand down and pull your belly in, fold your hips back again. And then do the left arm. So inhale forward like you're going to shake hands. And then exhale down and fold back. So this time as you do your right arm, add your left leg. So right arm, and then the left leg reaches back. For this part, you can look down. They help you balance. And then exhale, hand down, knee down, fold back. And then left arm, right leg. So inhale, lift. Exhale down, fold back smoothly, and we'll do each side one more time. So right arm, left leg. Inhale. Exhale down and fold back. And then left arm, right leg. Exhale down and fold back. And then we'll go back to the other side and hold. So just come up and take your left leg back. And then inhale your right arm forward. And looking at the mat, hold on the exhale, pull in your belly. And on your inhale, lift your foot, lengthen your arm. And on the exhale, as you pull in the belly, you may notice that the back kind of flattens and the arm and the hand soften down a little bit, the foot and the leg. And then inhale and lengthen. And again, exhale, pull the navel in, and you feel this contracting in the abdomen and this softening of the arm and the leg. And then inhale, lengthen. And again. And then lengthen back out. And then exhale your hand down, fold your hips back, and maybe a moment to move your left wrist. And then just inhale to tabletop, lift your chest and your eyes. Exhale back to child's pose. We'll just do that once more. Just even out the spine. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale back to child's pose, around the back as you fold back. And then inhale up to tabletop and take your right leg back. And we'll do the other side. So inhale the left arm forward, eyes down. Hold on the exhale, pull your belly in. And inhale, lengthen, lift the leg. So on the exhale, as the belly draws in, maybe the hand and the foot soften down a little bit. And on the inhale, everything lengthens back out. Exhale, belly in. Inhale, lengthen back out. Again, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And now exhale everything down to the floor. Your hand and your knee can lower down, fold back. And inhale to all fours. Exhale, fold back to child's pose. Do that one more time. Inhale. And then back to child's pose. And then inhale up, and for the next movement we're going to stand on our knees. So again, the padding under the knees may be helpful. And we're going to lift our arms over our head like we did in lying on our back. And just going to show a few options for ways to lift your arms over your head. And you can explore your shoulders and just be maybe a little playful with the different options. So inhale, the arms can float up over the head like we did lying on our back. And exhale, down, belly in. So a similar but slightly different way is to bend the elbows like you're doing a bicep curl and lift them up. And then exhale, pull your belly in as you bring them down. See how that feels. Let's do that once more. Inhale. Exhale, and you just notice how these things feel in your shoulders. And then another option would be to take your arms out to the side and up. And down. And again, up. And down. And then let's do a couple more, and you can choose what variation, what option feels good for your arms today. And down. So bending the elbows just kind of uses some different muscles, and if you have a shoulder injury, it may actually be helpful. And the next time you're down, pause, and we're going to come back down to hands and knees. And for a few breaths, this will help stretch out the back after that little back bend. Tuck your toes under and push up to downward facing dog. And you can think about stretching out your back here. If you start with your knees bent, you can push the hands down and lift the hips up, and then maybe pedaling out your legs to notice what you feel in the two sides. Or if you remember when we were lying on our back at the beginning and we did that little movement where we were softening or bending the knees and elbows on the exhale and straightening on the inhale. So you could try that here. So exhale, soften the knees, soften the elbows, pull in the belly. And then inhale, try to lengthen back out. And exhale. Soften the elbows, soften the knees, and pull the belly in. And inhale, try to lengthen back out. One more. Lengthen back out on your inhale. And then lower your knees to the floor. And you may want to come down to child's pose and get off your wrists for a moment. For the next movement, we're going to put these things together. So it's a sequence that's going to incorporate the tabletop position to child's pose, the downward dog position, and this movement we did lifting our arms up over the head. This is called lightning pose. So we're going to start in tabletop. And inhale, lift your chest and eyes. Pull the navel in and exhale back to child's pose. See if you can bow your head toward the floor. Inhale, glide back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, pull the navel in, and push yourself back to dog pose. Inhale to your knees, lifting the chest and the eyes. Untuck the toes, exhale back to child's pose. And now we're going to lift up to the sky. So lift your chest, lift your arms, lift your eyes. And exhale all the way back down to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop, lift the chest and eyes. Tuck the toes, slow exhale to downward dog, pull the belly in. Inhale to the knees, lift the chest and eyes. Exhale back to child's pose. So you can untuck the toes here. And then rise up to the sky. Inhale, maybe the arms go out to the side and up this time, if that's helpful for you. Exhale down to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, all fours, lift the chest. Tuck the toes, belly in, push back to dog pose. Inhale to the knees, lift the chest and eyes. Untuck the toes, exhale back. And one more time, up to the sky. And you choose how you lift your arms. And then all the way back down to child's pose. And stay. So when you're resting in child's pose, it may be nice to support the head. So it's nice if you can rest your head on something. So here's where maybe a yoga block can be nice. You could rest your forehead on a yoga block. And this is actually a nice way to kind of massage the forehead. Or we yoga people like to talk about the third eye, so you can put your third eye on the block. Maybe swaying. Or if you don't have a block, you could stack your fists up or put your hands there for your head. So just make sure you're supporting your neck. A little swaying. And then gently push back up to all fours. And then to downward dog. Take a few breaths here. So maybe this time you hold a slight bend in your knees and you just stay. Maybe you're straightening the legs more and you stay. Maybe you're bending and straightening like we did in the other variation. What do you notice? And then please make your way up to standing. And you can clear the padding off of your mat. We'll do some things in standing. So just noticing, you can give things a little shake, noticing how it feels to stand on the floor. So mountain pose, the joints are stacked up, so the hips are under the heel. Hips over your heels, please. Yeah, and then inhale, we'll try some different things with our arms. So inhale your arms out to the side and up. See how that feels. And then exhale down, pull your belly in. And then inhale your arms forward and up, and you could bend the elbows if it's helpful. And then down. So we're going to continue to play with the arms, but when we lift up, we're going to shift the weight into the balls of the feet and lift the heels up as we go up. So, and again, you can just play with different things for your arms. So inhale up and let the heels float up off of the floor. You're going to feel your legs shake. Go slow. And then exhale down, slowly pulling in the navel. Let your hands touch your legs as your heels touch the floor. So let the heels come down very softly. And then you could do maybe a different variation of lifting your arms up. And then down. So the heels float up as the arms float up. Again, maybe you try some different things. Some people like this variation where the elbows are bent, like cactus. Exhale down. Try to let the heels touch as your hands touch. And then the next one we're going to go up and stay. So lift your arms any way that you like. And like we did in the other movements, on the exhale, soften your heels down a little bit, bend your elbows a little bit, pull your belly in. And then inhale, back up. So you could breathe a little faster than me, but try to breathe as slowly as you can. Exhale, heels down, belly in, elbows soften. Inhale, back up. Again, a little exhale, and then the quivering in your legs, just waking up the leg muscles. Inhale. And this time all the way down, let your heels touch and your hands touch together, and it may feel nice to just give your legs a little shake. And you may feel how the back muscles worked a little bit there, and we're going to do a forward fold to help with that. So for this movement, if you can step your feet out about shoulder width apart, I'm going to turn to the sides. I'm going to step my feet out to the edge of my mat. And then touch the sides of your body with your hands. Take an inhale. Here's the chest lifting. Exhale, pull your belly in, slide your hands down your legs. And we're sinking the hips back like we're sitting back in a chair and just sliding the hands down the sides of the body. And on the inhale, slide your hands back up to your hips first and then come up to standing. And again, exhale down. Now, if you like it and it doesn't seem to bother your neck or your back, you could let your head hang all the way down here. And then on the inhale, as you rise, let your arms slide up first and come up with a flat back. And if that tends to make you dizzy, just go halfway down. So exhale, you could go halfway down and stay, or you could let your head hang all the way down. Slide your hands up first and come up slowly with a flat back. Good. And then you can step your feet back in, give them a little jiggle. You can shake your hands. And for the next movement, we're going to step the feet into the warrior one position. So this will be where the feet are hip width apart. So I'm going to step my right foot comfortably forward and my left foot comfortably back so that the left foot is still in line with my left hip. And in this pose, we're going to bend the front knee. So we just take a test bend and see if your knee is right over your heel on that bend. See how that feels. And when you exhale, straighten your leg and touch your abdomen. And we can try that again. So if you want more bend in your knee, you're welcome to step the feet wider. It's fine. Exhale, hugging in the navel. So now we're going to lift the arms up as we bend the knee, and you can play with the different ways to lift your arms. So bend the knee, lift your arms up over your head. Go slow. And straighten the leg, lower your arms down, belly in. And then you can try a different variation. Maybe you bend the elbows and lift your arms up. So maybe you find the way that you really like it and you just keep repeating that, or out to the side and up. Exhale down. So any way that you're choosing to lift your arms is fine. Just going to play with your arms. What's happening today? Exhale. So again, you can continue to move your arms in any way you like. And we're going to play with a little balance here. So the next time we lift the arms up, we're going to lift the back heel off the floor. So inhale, bend your knee, lift your arms up, and you can even let the upper body lean forward a little bit. We're kind of got a little energy into that front leg. And then put your heel down, lower your arms, straighten the front leg. And again, maybe different arms. And then exhale. So for the next one, if you like, you can try to even lift that back foot up off of the floor. And what you may find helpful is if your arms are out to the side, they'll kind of help with your balance a little bit. So inhale, maybe you hop up onto that front leg. And then see if you can lower back down smoothly. And if you don't lift your foot, it's fine. You can just lift the heel. So you might try that again. Inhale. And then down. And then we'll see if we can hold. So come up and hold, and it could be just your heel up. That could be fine, or you can hop up, and maybe you just touch the toes down and you're leaning forward a little bit, or maybe you start to shift the weight forward a little more. And arms out to the side, or cactus arms, or maybe arms forward, or maybe right arm forward, left arm back. Play. Keep breathing. And then put your foot down and come up to standing. And give things a little jiggle. And then just stand in your mountain pose and take a moment to notice. What do you feel? The energy in the right leg may feel quite a bit different than the left. So before we do that to the other side, we're going to do our forward fold with the legs a little apart. So step your feet out to the edge of your mat or a little bit wide. Take an in-breath. Bend your knees, exhale, slide your hands down, take a bow. And again, you could go halfway down or you could let the head hang down. On the inhale, slide your hands up first, lift your chest, come on up. So we'll just do one more of those. So exhale, bend your knees, bow, maybe halfway, maybe you let your head hang down. And then inhale, hands up first, come up with a flat back, go slow. Especially if you tend to get dizzy going up and down. And then you can step your feet back in, and we're going to do this sequence on the other side with the warrior one pose. So the left foot forward and the right foot comfortably back. And I'm strongly suggesting that you line up your heels with your hip joints so that their feet are a little bit apart. We found that this is a little more accessible for the low back. For some people, lining up the feet here is really not great for the hips and the SI joints. So take a test bend, make sure your knee is over your heel. On the exhale, straighten your leg, pull your belly in, and you're welcome to adjust the distance between your feet. So again, another test bend, you might feel how the chest expands here on the inhale, and you can touch in on the exhale, pulling in the navel, and then we'll do the movement, and you can play with your arms. So inhale, let your arms float up, any of those variations we've been playing with. And straighten your leg, lower your arms, belly in. Inhale. You could do the same every time, or you could do different variations. Exhale. Maybe arms out to the side and up and down. So this time, whichever arm variation you like, and you can lift your back heel up off of the floor. So front knee bends, arms lift, back heel lifts, and the front of the body, the chest can just shift forward a little bit. And then exhale down. And again, as we start to balance this, taking the arms out to the side option could be really helpful for your balance. Exhale back down. So the next one, if you like, you can try to hop up, off, bring the back foot up off of the floor. And then come back down. And again, maybe you just come up onto your toes, or maybe you let that back foot lift and it's really close and you can just touch it back down. Exhale down. And then we'll try to hold it. You can hold, a long time if you want. So inhale up, and again, you could just have the toes here where they're touching, or you could start to let the body shift forward, more challenging. So the arms could be out to the side, cactus arms. I kind of like this left arm forward, right arm back variation, especially since I have a plant here. Breathing. And then please come up to standing. And you should feel maybe some energy in your left leg. You can jiggle things, give them a shake. Good. All right, and we'll do the forward fold one more time to stretch out after that. And for this one, please step your feet out a bit wider. So we're going to go maybe one leg's distance apart. After we go up and down a couple of times, we're going to do like a variation of downward dog with the legs wide. So touch your hands to your hips. Take an inhale. Bend your knees. Take a slow trip down. Maybe halfway down, maybe your head hangs down. Begin the inhale by sliding your hands up and rise up slowly. And again, exhale, sliding on down. Inhale back up. So the next one will go down and stay. So if you exhale down, perhaps the yoga block is helpful and you just touch the block and you hold on here, that's fine. You could bend one knee at a time. Or if it's nice for you, you can take your hands out in front of you like dog pose. Hands can be slightly wider than the shoulders. Try to keep your heels down. And you can think about the energy of your heels pushing down and your hips drawing back. So there's definitely some weight in the legs. Actually, my hands are not, very much weight there. You can inch your fingers forward just to stretch your back. And again, you could think about that technique we've been doing, exhaling, softening the elbows and the knees, and inhaling, lengthening, particularly the spine here. Exhale, softening the knees, the elbows pulling in the belly. And inhale, lengthening. Exhale. And inhale. And then when you exhale the next time, bend your knees a little bit more and walk your hands under. And we're just going to come back down onto the floor. So take your time, get yourself down. And we'll lie down on our back again. So move things around so you can lie down on your back. And once you're on the floor, you can pull your knees into your chest like we did at the beginning. And you can notice the ankles, maybe ankle circles and wrist circles are nice. And you can rock a little bit. So we're going to do a little twisting movement side to side, and then eventually we're going to hold the twist. So if you have a pillow or a cushion or a yoga block or something, we may use that to support the legs when we get to the twist. So for now, just stretch your arms out shoulder width apart, and you can turn the palms down and have your hands a little bit lower than your shoulders. See if you can flex the feet and let your knees hug toward each other, and when you inhale, lengthen your arms. On your exhale, pull your navel in and let your knees sway to one side, maybe just a few inches to start. And then inhale back to the center. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. If it feels accessible for you to go further, you can exhale over a little further. And inhale, center. Try to hug the knees together on the inhale. And then exhale. Maybe your head turns the opposite way. Inhale, center. So if it feels pretty easy for you, again, it's fine if your movement is small. If you go all the way over, maybe you draw your your knees closer to your elbows, and then inhale up slowly. And then exhale, maybe knees to your elbows, and the head turns the opposite way. And inhale up slowly. So do one more to each side. Again, small movement is totally fine. Inhale slowly up. Try to keep your knees together if you can. And exhale. And inhale. And then let your feet come down to the floor. Bring your hands to your belly. And you can let the legs rest and your belly just be soft for a moment after that sort of engagement there in the abdominal area. And then we'll go to the side and hold. So if you take your support, we're going to hold the knees to the right first. So pull your knees back up into your chest and go over somewhere where you can hold, and you can decide, what's helpful. So if your left shoulder is kind of coming up off the floor, you might want to raise your knees up. If you want to go further, that's fine. You could just let your right hand rest comfortably on your legs. And just holding there, take a few breaths that are a little deeper. Hug in your abdomen on the exhale. Deep breath. Exhale. Maybe even breathing out through the mouth. And then we'll come to the center. So lift the top leg up first, and then the second leg, and then you can put your feet on the floor and notice the two sides. And then we'll go to the other side and stay. I've got some blankets on this side, but if you have pillows and things, move them around so you can support your knees to the left. And then exhale to the side. Take your right arm out. Try to keep that right shoulder on the floor. Maybe you use your left hand to rest comfortably on your legs. And some nice deep breath here. So big inhale into the chest. Exhale, navel in. Inhale, chest. Exhale, pulling in the navel. Inhale. Exhale. And then again, as you come to the center, lift the top knee first. And the second knee. And then you can put your feet down. And you might even want to pick your hips up for a moment to get things even. And then we're going to do some symmetrical movement, so to even things up after the twist. So have your knees bent and your feet lined up with your hip bones, and the feet pretty close to your body for this movement. This is the bridge pose. So inhale, let your heels push down into the mat and lift your hips up off of the floor. Exhale down. You can think about rolling your spine down. And you want your head straight as you lift so that you're not twisting your neck while you're lifting. So inhale, look up, lift up. And exhale down. So just going up a comfortable amount, coming down smoothly, hugging in the abdomen on the way down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale down. If you like, you can lift your arms over your head again like we did at the beginning. As we lift the hips up, you can lift the arms up. And exhale down. If you prefer to do it without the arms, that's also fine. So let's go up and down one more time. You can use the arms or not use the arms. Exhale down. And the next time you go up, see if you can stay for one breath or a little bit longer if you like. So you could just lift the hips and stay, or you could lift the arms and stay. Hips and arms, that is. Hold on the exhale, pull in your belly. And on your inhale, there might be just a little more lift. And hold on the exhale. And you can try to notice as you hold the work of the muscles in the back of the body, so the hamstrings and the glutes and even into your back. So the purpose of the pose is to strengthen those muscles, not to like crank your hips up toward the ceiling. So just feeling the work of the muscles in the back of the body. And when you exhale, you can lower your arms and your hips, or just your hips if you didn't have the arms up, and then you can pause. Notice what you feel, and then draw your knees into your chest and rock. Some people like lifting the chest up here because it just feels nice after that pose. See what it feels like for you. And then bring your feet down to rest again. And always, if it's helpful, you can have your feet a little wider and your knees touching, and maybe just rest your hands on your belly. So just let your eyes just scan the room. You don't have to turn your neck, but just let your eyes kind of glance around and see what you see. Just to orient yourself to the room you're in. And then you can either choose one spot for your eyes or close your eyes. And feel the support of the floor and notice where you're touching the floor with the different parts of your body. And as we shift toward the end of our practice, the relaxation part, you can just begin to let go. You feel the weight of your arms, the weight of your body resting on the floor, and you can begin to let go of any effort to control your breath. Just breathe normally. So as we begin to pause, as we begin to shift toward the resting part, you may like having your knees bent here, or you may find it comfortable to lie flat on the floor. So if it's good for you to lie flat, that's fine, but if many people, the back gets it doesn't feel so good to lie flat. So if it's better for you, you can keep your knees bent or put a blanket or a pillow under your knees, or even resting the legs up on a chair or a sofa can be really nice for many people. So whatever works for you, and the hands could be on your belly or on your body or out to the sides with the palms facing up, nice receptive and open position. So just giving yourself a moment to settle. Take a breath with a nice ah. So take an inhale. And then say ah. And just feel how that lets you settle a little bit more, get a little softer. And as you begin to settle in, I'll repeat this little message, a little prayer. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live with ease. So be comfortable. Perhaps there's some little adjustment you can make in your body to be more comfortable. And I encourage you to continue to rest for the next 5, even 10 minutes. So let yourself have that time. You could try counting 12 breaths if you feel like you need to hop right up. Try to stay for at least 12 breaths. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.